Welcome back to Thoughts Roundup. I've enjoyed being with you all, and I appreciate the response that I have received from you. And I want to talk to you today about no electricity. But I've got to start and talk to you before that about 1952. I joined the Navy when I was 17, and I was on a ship for the whole term, 4-year term, USS Smalley DD 565. It was called a tin can because it bobbed around like a tin can out there in the water in the storm. It was a rough ride, to tell you the whole truth. And it was a kind of a lonely place. Now, an aircraft carrier or a tender, they were big and they were more like a floating city. But this tin can was 365 feet long, I believe. I can't remember for sure. Old people not supposed to remember too much. And we had to wait for our mail. And so we would be so anxious. We would be so anxious to get our mail. We wanted to hear from home. A lot of us were homesick. We had never been gone from home before. And here we were out there on the sea, bobbing around, thinking about what might be going on at home. Of course, the truth of it was, where I came from, not very much was going on. I can promise you that. But anyway, we'd wait for that mail, and we'd be so anxious. We was hoping. And it was a horrible feeling when you didn't get any mail after waiting that long. Now, to go back, I was raised a mile and a half back in the woods, 25 miles from town, and we had no electricity. People this day and time can't imagine not having electricity. Well, that means that you don't have a stove that you can press a button. You have to put wood in the stove. That means you don't have a refrigerator to keep things cold. Sometimes they lower the milk down in the well to try to keep it cool. And then later on they got a kind of a motorized refrigerator. I think it was a Serval refrigerator. And of course there was no running water. There were no indoor bathrooms. That's the way it all was. And that's what I left and went to the Navy. And it would just seem as though when we'd be out on the ocean that it was so lonely. Sometimes at night I'd go up on deck at 3 o'clock. The moon would be up and there was enough light to read my Bible by. And I would sit up there and read my Bible. and whisper a prayer. But one day, you see, the way they brought the mail to us, sometimes if we was close to a aircraft carrier, they would shoot a line over there and they'd pull the mail over there by ropes because the aircraft carrier had picked up our mail. But then sometimes a helicopter would come and hover over the fantail. And oh, I want to tell you something. What a moment, what excitement. And all the sailors that were not on duty, they were up there waiting for their name to be called after the bag of mail was dropped down on the fantail and the helicopter had moved away. Oh, I can't tell you how exciting it was. And then they'd open the mail bag and the seaman would say, Jones, Bounce, Smith, yo. Everybody would answer quickly, and they would come and get their mail. And I remember that day, especially that particular day. Marler! And they handed me my letter. I could have told you whose writing it was. I could have told you who had sent the letter, but just the style of writing, I knew it was from my mother. And I opened it, and it said, "We have electricity." Oh, I could not believe it. We had waited, we had been promised electricity for so long. They'd even dropped some poles off at our house, and they stayed out in front of our house for many years. And we thought every year they was going to come and fix it. She said, we have electricity. She said, you should have seen when we turned the lights on for the first time. Said spiders ran everywhere. Man, I couldn't imagine it. And then P.S. Oh yes, we also have a telephone. And if you get somewhere where you can use a phone and want to call us, here's our number, SY32097. I remembered it. I didn't even have to look it up to tell you about it. I remembered it. And she said, now whenever I receive a call, it's a party line. And our ring is 3 long rings. Pearlie's, and them is 2 rings, and Louis Powell's is 1 ring. And, well, the truth of it was, when the phone rang out there, it was just about everybody's ring because there was nothing going on out there. And people would listen in on the party line. I was so surprised that my mother would listen in on someone else's conversation because she had always taught us not to open anybody's mail, and everything was private and all of that. But it was just too tempting, I guess. I remember one time I called her, and I said I called Louis Powell and told him She said, "Oh yeah, I've already heard it. I heard you when you told him." So, but I'll tell you what, people can't understand. They don't realize with all the cell phones and you can call Germany from any country and all of that, I suppose. You can call America, you can call from America. It's all so different. I wouldn't want to go back, but every once in a while, I relive mail call. God bless you.